Welcome to the final video here of this month's For Real Movie Club, where we cover Marvel's Phase 1. And what better way to end the Phase 1 recap than with Avengers itself, the 4-year culmination. Tony, what did you think on your initial thoughts on the Avengers?
Oh my fucking god, it's the Avengers! Ah!
Thanks for joining us on the For Real Movie Club. That sums it up.
That basically does. I mean, I was so fucking pumped to see this. You and I and a bunch of other friends of ours, we went to see the big marathon at AMC theaters that was going on at that time. So we went out of our way to go there at, like 10 in the morning and stay until 1 in the morning. And for a guy that doesn't sleep, like myself, that's nothing. But it was so cool to just be able to watch all these in a row and go right into Avengers and, see these characters that I either had been a big fan of going into it or had grown an appreciation for, to just go, man, we get to see Iron Man and Hulk and Thor and Captain America and Hawkeye and whatever. But, and Selvig, fuck you. But this was an epic thing for movies. Now you can see that this has had some kind of a backlash in certain ways, because now everybody thinks that they should have a cinematic universe. They're talking about having a Transformers universe, which is fucking ridiculous. Just do different. Yeah, Ghostbusters don't need a fucking cinematic universe. They don't even need a third film, let alone, spin-off things and stuff. But this is something that will never be replicated again. Marvel took an idea that everybody thought was so out there and so impossible to do, and they fucking did it. And not only did they do it, they did it so damn well that this shattered so many different records. And it's going to go down as one of the most influential film series of all time.
Sam, what was your initial thoughts on Avengers?
Similar to Tony, my initial thoughts were, oh my god, the Avengers, I've been waiting for this forever, and it's a big, orgasm on screen. Final thoughts, I'll be honest, are a little different than my initial, but my initial were yes, just keep bringing it. And I would just note for my initial reactions, everybody likes to think that, in retrospect, I totally knew. Or oh yeah, that was obvious, or oh, how did you not know that? But let's face it, no matter how many people were in that movie theater, there were only 6 people that probably knew who Thanos was. And I and the rest of the movie-going audience, as much as I love comics, I had to turn to Tony and went, was that Galactus? Who was that? So let's all remember there is a time before we know who these people are.
And you know who you are.
You know who you are listening to this, if you knew who that was or not.
Eddie, what was your initial thoughts on the film?
This is the first one that I actually went to see in the movie theater. Out of all these, from Iron Man onwards, this is the only one that I actually decided to watch in the movie theater, because I think I had just seen Captain America. Yeah. I just watched Captain America, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is going on in the movie theater right now. I think it was a coincidence. Maybe I was inspired by the Avengers coming out to watch Captain America back then. I don't remember. But, I got excited about it. I was like, oh, let me go watch it. I now remember, most movies I watch in the movie theater, they're action-based or something. I don't, it got me, it caught my attention, and I loved everything about it visually, and oh man, it's awesome. There's Iron Man, there's Tony Stark, then there's Thor being all how dare you speak to me, the son of Odin, and then Steve Rogers with his list, research, Nirvana and whatever else, which is funny, in different countries, I don't know if you guys knew this, but in different countries, they had they filmed several different pads in his hand, where he's writing things that are culturally relevant to wherever that movie's released. In Brazil, we have 4 different things that you guys have no idea what you're talking about. But then there's also Star Trek, Nirvana, and whatever else.
Well, that was Phase 2.
Shit, what? No, hang on. Really?
Yeah, that was Winter Soldier, not the Avengers.
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, my bad. Fuck, I flunked, right? Damn it.
My favorite part was with Superman.
Yeah. Anyways, going on. And then Optimus Prime was really cool in it too. No, for real. Okay, I dug the movie. That's what I wanted to say. And yeah. Except for I'm not sure. Oh, the casting. We'll talk about the casting.
Well, that's kind of the thing. I don't know if we want to go into casting a whole bunch because that'd be beating a dead horse, considering the only new member to this cast is Mark Ruffalo.
Nope. There's another. No, hang on. No, there is another.
Hang on.
When I saw her, I was like, "Oh my god, that's so cool!" Like,
Maria Hill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kobe Smulders,
Kobe Smulders, yeah, Robin.
So, all right, let's talk about Eddie. What did you think of Maria Hill and the new Hulk being added?
I don't like when they replace actors. I think it's either something sloppy went on in the logistical when they were organizing. I don't know, like schedules, casting, whatever. Because I'm sure Edward Norton was working on some other movie. But at the same time, I have nothing against Mark Ruffalo. I thought it was all right. And Kobe Smulders, I was like, there's that whole. It's kind of true that there's a typecast kind of problem with actors. Sometimes you see an actor and you can only think of one role. And I expected like the narrator to go like, "So kids, your mother turns out was actually a genius engineer." Back, I expected to hear Ted Mosby talking. It was totally out of place. Apart from that, I was so glad that there was no, apart from the Hulk, Dr. Banner, there was no bullshit like, oh, we're going to get this actor or that actor, or, oh, we have to cut out this hero because whatever. Though I do wonder, where's Spider-Man in New York City? You know what I mean?
He's eating strawberries.
I'll leave it at that.
Tony, what were your thoughts of Ruffalo and Smulders joining the cast?
Ruffalo is too old. He's too charming. He's too good looking. Not to say that Edward Norton's ugly or anything. And he's too funny to be Bruce Banner. Yeah, his Hulk is better, but that's more on the animators and everything. They needed to go with somebody who was more of a dork. And I had heard a rumor beforehand that they were going to recast and that the main person that they were going to cast was going to be David Duchovny. I was actually totally on board with that, even though he's around that same age bracket.
Let me just a little addendum to that what you just said. Wizard, I swear I remember this. There was a Wizard issue in 1986 where they actually said David Duchovny would be a perfect Bruce Banner.
He would have been, I think. And especially when he was younger. Yeah, I think he would have been an amazing Bruce Banner. I'm still not sold on Mark Ruffalo. I think everybody gives him too much credit because the Avengers was cool and the Hulk was better in the movie. He shouldn't get credit for the Hulk. He should get credit for what he does for Banner. For Kobe Smulders, though, she did a lot better than I thought she was going to, because I had only really known her from How I Met Your Mother, and being a big fan of that, Robin was just an odd choice. Like, they're going to go, Robin's going to be Maria Hill? Okay, fine. Well, let's see. But she did a lot better than I had expected. She pulled it off, and she's even better now that she's had some more time to grow into the character. In Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she's shown off a lot better use of the character than she did in Avengers, and I'm looking forward to what she's going to do in Age of Ultron. There's actually one other thing about casting that I want to mention. It's not a new character, but it's something that's really pivotal to the movie. When they had originally cast Clark Gregg in Iron Man, he wasn't supposed to be the glue that held the universe together. They just liked him so much that they kept bringing him back. That's why his character is just some no-name, nothing character. He's not, Clay Quarterman or Quartermain, not Quarterman. Clay Quarterback. He's not somebody from the comics. He's just some guy that they were just like, oh, it'd be kind of fun to throw a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent in there, and let's get Clark Gregg in there, and whatever. And he ended up becoming such a pivotal part of this that he's the reason why the Avengers come together. And then he's the reason why they have a TV show now. So it goes to show you, if you cast the right person, even if the character doesn't exist, it could become an important character.
Sam, what were your thoughts on the addition of Ruffalo, Smulders, and if you wanted to touch base on...
Easy, Eddie.
What happened?
There was just some noise from your mic.
No, I'm getting radio static in my headphones. It sucks.
Well, okay then.
It's not even static. I hear like some crap going on. Sorry, my bad.
It's the council.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Dace, you were saying about Clark Gregg.
Well, Clark, and then the addition of Ruffalo and Smulders.
All right, I won't say much on Clark Gregg. He's awesome. Agent Coulson, he became the glue, and he died, and then he didn't really die because now in the Marvel movies, just like in the comics, nobody ever dies. But I never saw How I Met Your Mother, so seeing her play Maria Hill, the only complaint that I had is that she's way too... And not even like, I see it more in the other movies more than the Avengers. She's too friendly. She's too nice. Maria Hill she's a real bitch. She hates Tony. In the Civil War storyline, she basically was going to force Captain America to go hunt the other heroes. So that's why he turned on them. Like, she should be like a real authoritative, you're going to listen to me or I'm going to kill you kind of a person. And I don't get that from Kobe Smulders at all. I get that she's like one of the team. And unless something dramatic happens and that changes, for right now, she's just okay.
Yeah, so she says, damn you, Patrice!
I didn't understand that reference. Anyway, Mark Ruffalo, I'm going to say this about the Don Cheadle casting in Iron Man 2. I could picture Terrence Howard delivering those lines. The way Don Cheadle portrayed the character, the way he brought it to life and fleshed him out, I could have inserted Terrence Howard into that role, and I could have still seen it work. I can't see Edward Norton anywhere in this banner. They're almost like two different people. As far as him being like funny, I don't think it's so much that he's too funny. I think they're portraying properly that when you're so disconnected from other people and you're so by yourself, you almost need to be a little funny before you just completely go insane. And you see, like, he sees the other SHIELD agents on the helicarrier, and he kind of just looks down and kind of walks away. Like, I'm not going to get involved, not going to make eye contact. Hey, I'll make a little bit of a joke, but okay, now you guys stop paying attention to me, please. I got that, but I can't put Edward Norton's banner in that role with those lines and that execution and still see it making sense. And I think that's where Mark Ruffalo causes a problem for me. He's a good Banner for what they need Bruce Banner to be, but Edward Norton is still my favorite Bruce Banner because I feel like he portrayed the character properly. And then, yeah, that's really all I gotta say on it. Otherwise, I'm gonna make it sound like I hate Mark Ruffalo, and I really don't. I'm fine with the character, and I'm looking forward to Age of Ultron.
Editor's note: right after this, Sam just went on a rampage of how much he fucking hates Ruffalo.
So when it comes to this film, let's give a little bit of facts before we roll into the next part of it. It was released May 4th, 2012, nearly 4 years after the original Iron Man was released. It's 143 minutes, a budget of $220 million, and I would say it's kind of successful. It brought in $1.518 billion.
I've seen better.
Just a little bit of successful. No need to get a big ego on that one.
That's twice as good as Call of Duty.
So I got to ask, and this is probably a no-brainer. Tony, was the build-up worth the wait?
100%. And I feel like the same thing's going to happen with Age of Ultron. I feel like the same thing's going to happen with Infinity War. They know what they're doing. They're kicking ass.
Sam, worth the wait?
Definitely 99% worth the wait. The other 1% is what I said earlier, where my initial thoughts and my final thoughts have changed. Because once I stepped back and I rubbed the stars out of my eyes and my pulse slowed down a little bit, I realized that there's some problems with this movie, and honestly, not very much happens. So if you want me to go into like highs and lows a little later on, then I'll get into that.
Yep, we'll definitely hit that point. Eddie, was it worth the wait?
Well, I mean, this is the movie that really got me into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because I was watching one and then another, and I was like, oh, these movies are pretty cool. You know, some of them great, some of them are not so good. And then when I saw this, I was like, oh, this really does tie well together. Because, I mean, I don't think a lot of fans of, this geeky stuff, be it video games or comics or whatever, it's really rare that a big corporation like Disney, Marvel, whatever, would take care of the mythology like this. That they would do something so elaborate that they would bring all these movies together and they actually make sense and they work. That's where I said, well, this is really cool. Because I don't think it's ever been pulled off in this scale. To get all these actors together. And I mean, some of the actors are really respectable. Scarlett Johansson has done some great stuff. They got Edward Norton to be the Hulk, which is, wow, Edward Norton. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't just the money. I mean, I know I found out he's a Hulk fan. Who else is worthy of mention? Well, there are several, but we're not going to go over the cast again. So yeah, I mean, this movie totally. I'm sure it's absolutely worth the wait for huge fans. And I'm pretty sure that if I had understood what was happening, I would have been totally psyched to wait for this movie.
So we'll stick with you, Eddie. Final thoughts, high, low point, and a rating 1 to 10.
Well, this is easy. Like, the high point is like I just described. Like, they got all these people together, and they kept the consistency. You know, they got Robert Downey Jr. for this amount of movies. They have Scarlett Johansson for these amount of movies. They had apart from the Mark Ruffalo thing, which is a forgivable fluke. They had all these other people. You know, so it's like Chris Hemsworth, Loki, everybody else, Steve Rogers, the same Captain America. It's like, wow, it all came together. Amazing. I thought it was great. And that's also kind of the low point. Like, sometimes if it's like, you can't fit that many people in one movie and expect the movie to be great. Like, wow, it's got a story, it's got a high point, it's got a part where the main characters are going through a turmoil in there, but they turn around. I don't think it really fit in a movie. It could have been. It had to be a lot longer. How long is the movie? The movie is 143 minutes. I mean, sure, it's a little over 2 hours, but maybe. Why not make it 3 hours? I don't know. I mean, it's just sometimes it's overwhelming. You got Iron Man doing one thing, and then it's like all of a sudden, Captain America's here talking to someone, and then you just keep switching back and forth, and then you're in the fight already. You know, at the end where New York City is being destroyed, and it's like, okay, it's a lot of stuff, and I feel like it could have been better executed. My score for this would be a 7. For that reason, I'd love to give it like an 8 or a 9 even, but I'll give it a 7. It's definitely a cool movie, entertaining, and just could have been a little better in some writing aspects or screenplay, maybe. I don't know.
Sam, what were your final thoughts? High point, low point, and rating 1 to 10.
Final thoughts are really quick. It was the culmination of everything I had been waiting for since I saw Nick Fury go to Tony at the end of Iron Man. It was what I've been waiting for. It was what every movie was building up to. It was just the nerdgasm we all wanted. The high point of the film is the Battle of New York. It was not a throwaway like the Iron Man 2 fight where it felt short. it was a good chunk of the movie, and we actually saw a lot of fighting. We saw every character in some regard have a good sequence in that fight. We got to see a good stretch of their powers. Low point, it's not that there's one definitive low for me, because the movie to me is very good, but it would somewhere be a three-way tie between the very beginning with S.H.I.E.L.D. and the car chase and all that. Felt like it was unnecessary. The helicarrier, they spent way too much time on it. It dragged the movie. I felt like you could have done something else in there that still could have gotten the point across. And the third one for me, it would have been better if they did this in Age of Ultron, because it would have made a lot more sense. And now if they do it, it's going to be a total cop-out. It made no sense to me that the mothership would have been destroyed and living, organic, breathing beings would just all pass out and die. It way more sense for Ultron. If he's destroyed, his army collapses. No sense at all to me that this happened. It felt like Whedon was writing this, and he's like, crap, but after that's destroyed, we still gotta fight these aliens. Editor's note, they all die. That's just how it felt to me. And one of the better parts of the movie, though, was, unlike what Eddie said, I felt that every character had their shining moment, with the exception of Hawkeye. I felt that in order to give every character a shining moment, Hawkeye needed to be sacrificed. And I didn't really like that. Which now they said he's going to have a bigger role in the second one, which might even hurt the movie. I don't know. But now I feel like I'm going to get too much Hawkeye because I got not enough Hawkeye. So that would be my high and low. And then out of 10, I'm going to give this movie a very solid 9. Not Iron Man level to me, 9.5. But, I mean, a 9 out of 10. Very few movies in history get that close for me to be that good.
Tony, final thoughts, high point, low point, and ranking 1 to 10.
Low point is Selvig. Fuck you. You don't deserve to be in this movie. This movie is about being awesome, and you're not awesome. You suck. So that whole thing with him, the cube showed me things or whatever. Just get stabbed and die already, you old piece of shit. Favorite scene? Definitely the whole end battle. That is just amazing. You know, you could see films like the Avengers, and you can compare it to something like X-Men and go, well, they already had a big team up before. No, you didn't. You saw the X-Men go off on their own little tangents, and it was like Storm against Toad. Well, you know, I don't give a shit about that. And in this movie, you got to see an actual cohesion like you would see in the comic books. You know, Captain America is directing traffic to not only the Avengers, but also the police. That's something that is really important to showing just how you can take a comic book and you can bring life into it on the big screen. If not the whole end battle for the favorite part, it would have to be Thanos, because to me, even as somebody who didn't know and still doesn't know everything about Thanos, you know, I can't even remember like what his son's name's Thane, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, that alone is like, I'm trying to remember if his son is Thane and stuff. But little aspects like that and stuff, I still knew just how big Thanos is and what that meant for the future, because they had the Tesseract, but they never referred to it as an Infinity Stone. And then bam, there's Thanos. Now you're telling me we're gonna get Infinity Gauntlet in the future. All hell's gonna break loose. You built up to Avengers, and if they would have just, you know, continued with other films and not done another Avengers film, I think a lot of people probably still would have been happy about it. But right then, that's where you hit me with, we can continue, we can make this bigger, better, and we can still ride the wave and keep going higher and higher. That is just amazing. This movie has flaws, you know, it's not the best written film of all time. It's certainly got some plot holes and different things, like how are they all communicating to each other without having earpieces in? That's an issue. But for all its flaws, this movie was meant to be just an epic awesome, fun thrill ride, and it pulls it off. 9 out of 10. Amazing.
I think I got everybody right.
Seems like it.
I can go again.
Well, that does it for us for this month's For Real Movie Club, and that was Avengers. Look forward to next month's For Real Movie Club, where we continue on to Phase 2, where we'll go over Iron Man 3, Thor 2, Cap 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy, leading to a Fanboys Anonymous review point of Age of Ultron. Yay! So, like we do on all podcasts, let's go around the circle, see what everybody's up to. Tony, we'll start with you.
All right, guys, if you're a fan of the wrestling side of things for the A Mango Tree branches, then you're going to want to go to smarkoutmoment.com, where you can listen to our podcasts of the Smack Talk show, the Monday Night Raw post show, and, of course, read all the articles and everything else like that. And check out everything coming your way from fanboysanonymous.com. Not only the other podcasts that we have, but the articles as well. All Talk Show is something else that you can find, which that's all craziness breaks loose. Sometimes on Tuesday nights, sometimes other times throughout the week. It all depends. So go to facebook.com/alltalkshow to find out when we're going to do a live episode. All that stuff you can find on youtube.com/smarkoutmoment/fanboysanonymous and /alltalkshow. And if you are a part of the convention scene coming up anytime soon over the next couple of months, Fanboys Anonymous is going to try to get as much of a presence as possible. So if you are going to anything like Wizard World Philadelphia, Atlantic City Boardwalk Con, Too Many Games Convention, New York Comic Con, and all that, we're going to try to go to all of these. So pay attention to what's going on with that. Fanboysanonymous.com, A Mango Tree, and all that other kind of stuff. A million links that you can find. Just go looking. You'll find a lot of them.
Sam, what you got going on?
You can catch me writing for fanboysanonymous.com, and if you love the science side of superheroes, I'm going to try to start doing my own little thing where I start delving into how scientifically accurate things are, along with a channel for YouTube I got going on that I'm trying to get risen up for a while now, Science 101. That's not going to be superhero related. That's just going to be me helping you guys out there. You got science courses. If you've never taken a science course, you just kind of want to learn a little bit, like, hey, quantum physics, what the hell is that? Then check out Science 101 on YouTube.
Eddie, what you got going on?
With Fanboys Anonymous, I have an article that I'm finishing up on. I'm reviewing and comparing Ender's Game, the book and the film. And in a couple of days, there's going to be a new Hearthstone Warcraft Adventures release. That's in Black Rock Mountain. So I'm totally going to be reviewing that, and it's going to be releasing every week. So April 2nd is the first day, and 1 week after that for 5 weeks, I believe. Other than that, I have a bunch of bands, and I'm just doing stuff, rock and roll. That's right. Rubber. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. As always, you can follow me on the Twitter machine at the Dace Man. Check out the Dace Man Show Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern on Mega Powers Radio. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I got to jump off so I can go catch the latest Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in this build to Age of Ultron. So, thank you guys for checking out the For Real Movie Club this week, and keep on checking out movies.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
I'm too old for this.
Good day, sir!
You stay classy, San Diego.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
I'm finished.
That'll do, Pete. That'll do.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hey, everybody! We're all gonna get late!
You're still here? It's over. Go home.